Good morning, everyone. Let us start with part 5 of day 35 of our regular SAP FICO session. As discussed in part 4, we have already configured the cost component for the main cost component and the cost component structure and the sub summary cost component structure. In the main cost component structure, we have cost components until 150, and in the summary cost component structure, we have cost components until 40. That is the 4 cost components. The next configuration activity is to assign the GL accounts for each of those cost components. So for cost component 10, I have assigned these GL accounts. Like for sugar, cocoa beans, and milk, same GL account is assigned, as these are the raw materials. For the cocoa butter, cocoa liquid, and milk powder, we have a different GL account, same GL accounts, because these are co-products. The next is milk extract. Milk extract is my byproduct. For the byproduct, we have a separate cost component over here, for which this is the GL account that I have assigned. The next is the indirect material, which includes lecithin, vanilla, and flavoring. So for this 943004 is the GL accounts that I have created and assigned. For the machine, labor, and energy and utilities, there are 3 different GL accounts: 943, 1, 2, and 3. For the power and fuel, we have 400, 500, and 400, 501, 2 different GL accounts that are assigned. For the repair and maintenance, quality, and R&D, also we have 3 different GL accounts: 941, 001, 2, 3, which are the GL accounts that are assigned. Similarly, for subcontracting, external processing, and additive cost, we have these 3 different GL accounts: 400, 500 series. Now you could see that these GL accounts belong to different series. So wherever we have the GL accounts related to activity, like indirect material is starting with 941. So these are related to, all these are related to activities. The routing cost and the template allocation cost are related to activities. That's the reason I have started with 943 for easy identification. For the costing sheet expenses, I have started with 941, 001, 2, and 3. Now there are cost categories. If it is a primary cost component, then cost category will be 01. If it is related to activity, the cost category is 43, and if it is related to costing sheet, other overheads, the cost category will be 41. So accordingly, since our cost component we have the semi-finished goods consumption also, this is the GL accounts I have created and I have assigned in the GVV VBR in OBYC. Similarly, for the SFG, we must store the inventory also, for which I have created the assets and assigned in the in the BSX, which is for inventory posting. For the byproduct cost of goods manufactured, we have 300 and 200, which I have assigned in GVV ZOF in OBYC, which is the part of FI and MM integration. Next is the machine activity, labor activity, energy, utility, indirect activity. These are all related to activities. So that is, these has cost category as 43, and these are all primary cost components. These power and fuel, which are cost category as 1. The repair and maintenance, quality, and overhead, this R&D overhead, these are other overheads related to the costing sheet, which go into 41 cost category, 941. The next is subcontracting charges, external processing, and additive cost. These are primary cost, which has cost category as 01. When I say cost category, we have to ask, when we create the GL accounts, we must assign one of the cost category in the control data tab. Let me re-log in, as it has been inactive for some times and it won't navigate. Going into FS00 to check the GL account, and let's check for one of the GL account, which is primary cost component. For this, in the control data, you see there the cost category or the cost element category is 1, which is the primary cost. For activities, you will have this cost category as 43. For the costing sheet, you will have the cost category as 41. So this is the bifurcation. Coming to next, these are all the cost element that we have created and assigned to each of these cost components. Let me show in the system, going back to our original T code OKTZ and checking the cost component structure RG. Different cost components we have. These are the different cost components. Let me open the material and assignment of the cost element. So here we assign the GL accounts. So for the material cost, which is the cost component 10 of cost component structure RG, in the chart of account RCIG, from GL account 400, 200 to 400, 299, all will form my raw material cost. That is 400, 200 to 400, 299. All will form my raw material cost, which is part of cost component 10. So that is what I have assigned over here. The next is, if we see the indirect material forms part of cost component 75, which should be assigned to 943,004. Let's just check that. 75, let's see the assignment. For the 75, which is the indirect material, the cost element that is assigned in 943,004. So similarly, I have assigned for all the cost components that are listed over here. For the main I have assigned, let me also assign for the sub cost component. Let's go back. Summary cost component. RS is the summary. We have this 10, and in the 10, let us do the assignment. So RS for the materials in RCIG, we are assigning 400, 200 to 42299. These are all the raw material cost. The next is the direct activities cost. In the direct activities, we are putting in the direct activities, that is the cost component 20. We have selected these many things, right? So let's put all those 943,001, 943,001 until 943,003, and also 400, 500 until 400, 501. And let me click on save. This is part of 20, and part of 30 also we have these 3 and these below 3, 6 GLs altogether. Let's go back, navigate to the overheads, click on new entries, RS, go into 30, RCIG. The cost elements for 30 is 943,004 to 943,004. Similarly, the next sequence is this, also form part of cost component 30 itself. And let me save it. The next is for 40. Let's click on new entry and assign the GL accounts. For 40, we have the GL accounts ranging from this 400, 500 to 400, 502 and 300, 202. It says duplicate. Let me just remove it, and let's go back, and let's come here, click on new entries, go in RS 40, chart of account, RCIZ. The GL account to be assigned is from here until here. It says an entry already exists for the cost component 40. I believe it is already assigned somewhere. Let's go back and check where it is assigned. Going into checking in this, this is assigned for 10. Going in this is assigned for 20, 400, 500 and 501. 500 and 501 already it is assigned over here. It has to be the different GL account. Okay, these are the 3 GL accounts. Yes, let's go back and assign these GL accounts. Click on new entries, RS, and another GL also we have, which is for the byproduct. Let's click on save, and let's check in the main cost component also if we have made the mistake. For the subcontracting, yes, here it is correct. So this is how we assigned the GL accounts to the main cost component structure and the sub component cost component structure, all the components. With this, I am closing with part 5. We'll meet again with part 6, wherein we will create a linkage between energy utility with power and fuel, and also we will assign this cost component structure to our company code and plant. So that we will do in part 6. For part 5, I am closing for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.